we're looking at tangent practice 2, and we're just going to do some of these questions in your packet so you have an example. So we're going to start with number 1, and we're going to look right here at what is given. A to B is 17, B to C is 18, C to D is 21, and we don't know what A to D is. So that is what we're trying to find. So A to B is 17, that's this whole length. B to C is 18, and D to C is 21. And we're looking for A to D, and we can just call that X. Well, like in our circle book, when we came up from it, if we have a circle that is circumscribed by a quadrilateral, opposite sides added together are equal. So we know 17 plus 21 equals X plus 18. Okay, so we get 38 equals X plus 18. We subtract 18 from both sides, and we get X equals 20, or AD equals 20. And since it's a length, apparently we do not have to put the line on top of AD. Okay. Number 2 is a little bit harder to understand because it's not a quadrilateral, it is a triangle. It's actually a right triangle. We know O to N, this whole length here, O to N is 7. And I'm going to try to put these in some colors. M to N, this length right here, is 24. And we know angle N is a right angle. And we are trying to figure out O to Q. Trying to figure out this length right here. Well, that length right there is a tangent, so we know that this tangent and this tangent must be equal. If we talk about common tangents have are congruent if they have go to a common point. So we know that. So we do need to know, but we do not know what O to P is in order to find that. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the length of M to O, right here. And we can do Pythagorean theorem. This is a right triangle. We've got 2 of its sides, so we can go 7 squared plus 24 squared equals, we'll call it X squared. And we get 49 plus 576 equals X squared, so we get X squared equals 625. Square root both sides, and we get X equals 25. So this whole length right here is 25. Now, we still don't know any of these smaller sides in order to figure it out. So one of the things we can do is talk about the radius of the circle. So if we got a center, and we've got the radius and the radius, they are equal to each other. So if we build this right, we have made, this is met here at 90 degrees, this is met here at 90 degrees, we have another at 90 degrees, so this has to be a square, which means all 4 sides are equal. So those 2 are equal. So I can say, therefore, that these 2 sides have to be the same thing, and I can use that to figure out this. So if we know that this whole length is 25, we know this whole length is 7, we know this whole length is 24, we can go through and figure out the length that the radius has to be, which in this case is 3. So if my radius is 3, then if this is 3, this has to be 4, and 4 plus 3 is 7. This has to be 4, and 4 plus what equals 25? 21. So this would have to be 21, and 21 plus 3 is 24, so it does work. So Q to O is 4. Okay, so we're going to move on to number 3, talking about our tangents. Here we have an internal tangent, and we've got to figure out the side. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw in these radiuses. Okay, I am going to build right here a rectangle, because it's going to be easier to talk about that this and this are both the same length. Now, the radius for P is 3, so this side has to be 3, and we have a rectangle right here. Okay? The radius for O is 8. So this is 3, this is 8, and we're going to build, by taking this right here, we're going to build a right triangle. Okay? So we're going to find that the length between these is 13, because it says right here. And we're going to try to find this leg of my right triangle. So this right triangle that I'm now talking about is this one right here. Kind of color it in so you guys can see the triangle that I've created. So I know 3 plus 8 is 11. So that's one leg. And we're going to try to find the other leg. So we'll go x, we'll call it x. X squared plus 11 squared equals 13 squared. And we end up getting x equals 6.92 once we solve it and square root it. So that is the length of my internal tangent. Now if we look at number 5, right here, we're trying to find an external tangent. So this is very similar, okay? We've got a radius and a radius, but they're not the same size. And we know that right here, this length right here is 20. I know this radius for the smaller circle is 8 and for the bigger circle is 10. But I want to build a right triangle right here. In order to do that, I have to go 10 minus 8, giving me this length of 2 in order to figure this out. Because I have to create a rectangle here where these two sides are both 8. In order to do that, there's 2 left over. Because I want to know what this length is on this right triangle so that I can find this height. So now I have a right triangle, and I'm going to go x squared plus 2 squared equals 20 squared, which gives me 19.89 once I solve the problem. Okay, so that is your second tangent work, and you can try the other problems and check your answers later.